What's up, everyone? Pritch here, and today we're talking about patch 105, which is currently happening right now at the time of recording, is right when it's starting. And in my opinion, guys, this is potentially the biggest and best patch that we've seen from Amazon so far. I am super excited. Let's get straight into it. So as I said, this is patch 105. This is occurring literally as I'm recording this at 10 a.m. On Eastern time, which is 7 a.m. Western Pacific time. This is in America. But one of the cool things is this is happening to all the servers at the exact same time. And I realized if you press and actually click on these times, and again, I'll have the link in the description to both of these in the forums, it actually tells you like the exact times in different time zones, which is actually really cool. So it's happening right now. Expected to be down for 3 hours while they do all these changes. Totally cool with that. Hopefully everything that they're promising will come true. All right, so let's get right into what are they promising. All right. This week's update introduces more general changes and bug fixes. We'd like to thank you for your patience as our team continues to work on resolving issues and for your continued reports on our official forums. You can find a full list of changes and fixes below. A full list, which would mean please stop trying to do stealth changes. If you're going to do a change, just put it on here. General, coin sellers. We know many of you have seen the pesky chat messages from players spamming messages, and we're continuing to investigate solutions to the issues. We discovered that many coin sellers were creating new characters and transferring money to other accounts. To combat this, we've 1. Banned and suspended many of the reported accounts. Thank you for the reports. They have been banning a lot of people, so that is a good thing. That's one good aspect. Added restrictions to prevent player-to-player trading and currency transfer from characters under level 10 or whose account is less than 72 hours old. Logging in after your account is 72 hours old will enable your ability to trade and transfer currency once you've hit level 10. So basically, you got to hit level 10 and it's got to be a 3-day-old account. All right? I feel like that's actually pretty easy for botters to get. I feel like that isn't going to take a lot of time. You just have to plan 3 days in advance kind of thing. But it's something, right? It's something. Redistributed coin value from some early quests to later in the main story quest line, keeping the total amounts of coin earned the same, just delivered in quests slightly later. So, what I am going to assume is by the time that you get to the point in your quest line where you go see the fisherman in Windsward, which is around a level like 8 to 10, you have, from story alone, you will have over 1,000 gold. Like over 1,000. And that gold can be put into the market through botters or people that are constantly creating new characters to get that gold. So, I could absolutely see why they would want to maybe redistribute that a little bit. But what that's going to mean is you're going to start out the game a little poorer for all those that are newer to the game or coming in or creating new characters or whatever, right? I would love to know the actual distribution, what they're actually changing and how much, but just be aware that this is going to be a change moving forward. Trading post usage will be restricted until new characters accept the introduction to the trading post quest in their first settlement. For those that don't remember, you get a quest very early on in your first settlement that tells you to go check out the storage shed and check out the trading post. That's what they're talking about. We will monitor the impact this has on bots and the health of the game and continue to adjust as necessary. I'm cool that they're trying things. I don't. All those sound decent to me. I'm not too sure if the level 10 3-day-old accounts is gonna mess up botters really that much, but maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it exactly or what the best ways are. Exploits. Fixed a bug where players were able to duplicate items via storage shed and crafting stations. We fixed the issue of gold duplicating on territory projects we introduced by disabling trading and made sure that it will not occur in the future should we need to disable trading again. Okay, so basically what I just read is we have disabled one of the duplicating items ways that people were using via storage sheds and crafting stations. Good. Thank you. Happy to hear that. Keep it up. There's more ways. Keep killing them. And the second one was if you owned a town, like we're the governor, and then went to do one of the upgrades for your town, you instantly got the money it would cost for that, like as gold into your bank, into the company account without ever paying the gold. So like, let's say something cost 10,000 gold, right? For one of the upgrades. The governor would go to start that project, and since there could be no money transfers, the 10,000 gold never left the governor's. I don't know if it goes through the governor or the company's, whichever one it was. The money would never leave, right? So he never actually paid for it, but the game would refund him the 10,000 gold. So he would just get free 10,000 gold, and that could be infinite, essentially. So that was the bug. That is what is currently, they're saying, has been fixed, so that if they ever do have to disable wealth transfers again, that should not be in the game. Combat. Life Staff. Orb Protection. For those that don't know, Orb Protection is the ability that you shoot out a projectile, and when it hits, it can hit an enemy for like 146% damage off the top of my head. That might be something close to 150% damage. Or if it hits an ally, it will give Fortify for 20 seconds, and if you have some upgrades on it, it can also give Recovery, which is health regen for 10 seconds. And those can be bumped up based on perks and whatnot that can increase your buff up times. Removed the small area of effect that were triggering on pass-through from every hit of the base version of Orb Protection. Interesting. So, this sounds like the exact same nerf. I'm going to read the next one. This sounds like the exact same nerf that just hit the light and heavy attack passives. AoE no longer triggers on pass-through from the Aegis upgrade. It'll only trigger on impact against an enemy object. So this is the exact same nerf that we saw with the light attacks and the heavy attacks. So for those that don't know, I forget what the names of the perks were called, but one perk is when you hit an ally with a light attack, they are healed for 20% healing. When you hit an ally with a heavy attack, they are Condi cleansed. That's Guild Wars 2 term. They remove a debuff. You remove one debuff. That's the light and heavy attack ones. And now Orb of Protection, which again, remember, is I give Fortify and Regeneration. So the way they used to work is when you would pass through or hit an enemy or whatever, there was an AoE that occurred. You did not need to have the projectile physically go through your allies. You could get it to be close, essentially. And the biggest thing that this would do is you could ground target. So you would aim your auto attacks or Orb of Protection at the ground at your allies' feet, because this would create the AoE, right? And so that anybody that was like within 2 to 3 meters, somewhere close to that, would receive the effects, and you could essentially AoE spam heals. This also meant that you could hit yourself with all those things because you could just aim at your own feet. Well, in the last update or patch, I don't remember, they removed the AoE on the light and heavy attacks. Now they're doing the same thing for Orb of Protection. So now, if you want to hit your allies with Orb Protection, they need to either be in the line of the projectile, or they need to be right next to an enemy. And it says enemy or object. So I'm curious if ground targeting still works with Orb of Protection. We'll have to test that out. But yeah, so that's a nerf, just straight up. This is a nerf to Orb of Protection, which honestly I'm cool with. Basically, life staff users, you got to aim your stuff better. You can't just ground target. I don't think you can ground target. I don't know if the ground counts as an object. If it does, you can keep ground targeting Orb Protection. Reduced attribute respec coin cost by 60%. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy about this. Like, thank you. So at max level, with max attributes, at max level, so level 60, it costs 500 gold currently to respec. 500 gold with a 60% nerf is 200 gold, I believe, if I did the mental math right. So it should only cost us 200 gold to respec. That is beautiful. For those curious, that is less gold than you will receive doing one outpost rush game, whether you win or lose, which means you can always respec for a good outpost rush build if you're interested. Also, just in general, right, when you do expeditions or you are trying to role swap from a healer to a DPS or a DPS to a healer or a tank to a DPS or whatever, right, you can just respec. Like, yes, thank you. This is a great freaking change. Reduced weapon mastery respec Azoth cost by 75%. I love you guys. You're doing great. Keep it up with these good changes. The PvP changes I'm looking forward to. The orb protection deal is getting nerfed. I'm down. You're reducing respec. You're reducing weapon mastery respec. Oh my gosh. Let's go. So for those that don't know, when a weapon is level 20, it costs 200 Azoth to respec. A 75% cut to that would mean that it should only cost 50 Azoth to now fully respec a weapon. That is beautiful, especially because you guys gave us a 1,000 Azoth cap. Now, if you mix together the fact that it only costs 50 Azoth with the fact that Outpost Rush exists, Outpost Rush is going to give you like 200 to 300 Azoth per game, win or lose. Again, it's just you can respec your builds very easily now. I love this. This is a great change. Thank you. Reduced coin cost of chisels by 20 to 50% depending on tier. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe chisels are the items that you can purchase from faction vendors that are used in the creation of tuning orbs, which are the keys to get into expeditions. This is one of the ways that I believe they're going to try to help reduce the cost of creating tuning orbs, which is just going to allow for more expedition runs, which I think is a absolutely great thing. Thank you. This is another great change. Very happy about that. I don't remember off the top of my head what the costs were previously, so I can't really comment on that, but I think it was close to like, in gold, I think it was it might have been a couple thousand. It might have been 1,000 maybe. I'm not 100%. Somebody in the comments let me know what it was. Max tier chisels is what I'm really interested in. To encourage competition in Outpost Rush, we've slightly reduced the coin and Azoth rewards for the losing team. That's super vague. I want to know exactly what it is. So for those, before this patch, Outpost Rush wins, you typically got anywhere from 300 to 400 gold and 250 to 325 Azoth. Somewhere close to that for a win. For a loss, you would get like somewhere between like maybe 275 to 375 gold. It just completely depends on like the length of the game and how you guys did and stuff like that. Like the longer the games and the more points your team got, the more you would get. And Azoth wise, it was like 250-ish to 300-ish. Like there was not a huge difference. So I'm cool with them wanting to increase and not increase and decrease. I'm cool with them wanting to make a little bit of a bigger gap to encourage better play. I hope this means, because I see Outpost Rush down in the bottom here, I hope this means that they're going to be fixing a lot of the problems in Outpost Rush that are currently making it not a fun experience because of all the Great Axe and Hatchet and fire staff and life staff and all the bugs that are plaguing the weapons, plus all the actual bugs plaguing Outpost Rush itself, where people can turn in and get demon tokens at the same time and pick up Azoth bags at the same time and all that fun jazz that sucks. And you can leave the starting area early and all that stuff. All right, moving on. We have surfaced the war conflict progression bars on the map and the faction board when there's an upcoming invasion, as you can still gain war conflict for your faction. So basically, we can still see the conflict bars. Good change. Thank you. Identical weapon equipping. Players can no longer equip the same weapon type in both weapon slots. Thank you. We've been asking for this since like the betas. We want each weapon slot to have a different weapon type to open up what combat diversity. Good change. This change also addresses issues which could occur when swapping between weapons of the same type. Boom! So what I was just talking about with the fire staff and the life staff, you could equip a double fire staff, double life staff, and set a macro to auto attack, change weapon, auto attack, change weapon, and it just, you cycle it and you're like machine gunning auto attacks, right? This gets rid of that problem because you can't weapon swap to a different, well, actually, does it get rid of the problem? What if you just have life staff, fire staff, and you set the macro? I would somebody double check on that and let me know in the comments. That might still be broken. But I am glad that this is one thing they are doing to help fix that. Group scaling passives. Fixed issues which could cause passive effects. Yes! These are such good patch notes! Fixed issues which could cause passive effects that scaled on the number of nearby foes, such as Bloodlust, against all odds, outnumbered, to apply incorrectly. This is them fixing the hatchet. They fixed the hatchet, they're fixing the permanent bloodlust, they're fixing passives that are like we're on Great Axe and Warhammer that were like, when you have 3 enemies around you, gain whatever. And then it would like permanently stay on you even when the enemies aren't around anymore. They're saying that they're fixed, which means that I'm allowed to go back to using my hatchet without fear of cheating or exploiting, essentially. Daddy can come home to his second favorite weapon. I like the Great Axe a little more than the hatchet. All right. Group scaling passives are gone with the bugs. Hopefully. Please. I'm like, these are literally fixing their game, guys. Like, this is one of the things that was plaguing the system of all PvP anywhere. Spell strike consistency. Fixed issues which caused several magic spells such as Ice Storm and Gravity Well to not hit consistently. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, so let's talk about this in terms of ice. Let's talk about this in terms of Ice Storm first. A lot of times Ice Storm wouldn't proc damage, just straight up, because it was broken. They're fixing it. Now let's talk about it in terms of Gravity Well, because that affected me more, and that made me more angry. You would hit people with a Gravity Well, and they would walk out of your Gravity Well. They literally would just walk out, because it wouldn't register. It wouldn't do anything, right? So, they're hopefully fixed. Hopefully, when you land these abilities, they do damage and they do whatever effects they're supposed to, such as slows or trapping people inside the Gravity Well. I will say I'm not a fan of... So, with Gravity Wells, the system they have in place is when you land a Gravity Well, there's like some invisible debuff that gets applied or something, right? That like gives you that trapped... where you can't dodge and you can't go out and you're kind of like almost rooted. You're not like really rooted, but you're kind of like rooted. You can't really move that much. There are dashes that are in this game, right? You can use a Great Axe, a Rapier. You could use Fire Staff, right? There's a lot of dashes in the game. You can dash out of Gravity Wells. If you dash out of a Gravity Well, you still get that rooted gravity effect on you for 3 seconds. I'm not a huge fan of that. I hope you guys can patch that or fix that at some point, but that might mean inherently changing the way that your gravity well works from a coding perspective. But it feels buggy and it feels bad. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. All right. Spell strike consistency. Thank you. Resilient. They're literally like hitting every major bug that is plaguing your system. Thank you. Resilient fixed an issue that caused this perk to reduce all damage instead of just damage from critical hits. For those that were not in the end game or were not aware, Resilient is a perk you can get on your armor pieces that says it reduces the a percentage of the critical damage you take. So when you get crit, you would take reduced critical hit damage. Typically, on end game armor pieces, you would find this around 5%. And the reason it's so prevalent is because your end game final faction gear pieces that you can get that are 520 pieces all have the Resilient perk on it, which meant if you got a full set of faction end game gear, you were receiving, they had around 5%, so 5 times 5, a 25% damage reduction to all damage. Yeah, it was stupid and insane, and they're finally fixing it. Which means that the best in slot armor pieces will no longer be the faction pieces. All right? Super, super amazing. I'm glad they're hitting all this. They're literally fixing everything. They're fixing all the bugs that are plaguing the weapons. They're fixing the armor bugs. Like, heck yes. PvP flagging. Fix an issue that allowed PvP and PvE players to heal each other. Didn't know that was a bug that existed. Good fix, though. Outpost rush. Please fix the stupid demon turn-in. Please fix the Azoth bags and fix the leaving early. Those are my 3 big. Fix an issue that was allowing players to get out of the starting fort before the match starts. Boom! Fix number 1. We now prevent multiple players from interacting with the altar in Outpost rush. Boom! Fix number 2. This will prevent players from getting multiple summoning tokens per 500 Azoth. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You could literally get 5 demon tokens in like a minute and a half, tops. Fixed an issue that sometimes caused the nameplates of summoned allies to appear hostile. That's a bad... Thank you. Good. I didn't know that existed, honestly. Fixed an issue that was causing Battle Bread, the food buff in Outpost Rush, to be twice as effective as intended. I don't remember if Battle Bread is the one that gives you a % increase to monsters or to players. I don't remember which is which. But apparently that was being twice as effective. Updated the tooltip for Battle Bread and Monster Slaying Stew to properly describe the buffs they provide. Well, those are the 2. Those are the one for the PvE and the PvP increased damage that I believe were 10%. If they're updating tooltips, maybe it's changing. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm curious to see what the new changes are on those. Fixed an issue that would cause players to become stuck in a teleport loop if they teleported out of Outpost Rush while using Unstuck. Was not aware of that fix. So, I am super happy. Thank you so much. You hit 2 of the 3 that I was looking for. The final one that I did not see in here is that if multiple players look at the same loot bag and interact with it at the same time, they can all receive the contents of the bag at the same time. Which is still a problem, especially when you consider that you could 5-man Ugg or Doug, which are the big uglies by the mines with 5 people, and then all 5 people interact with the bag at the same time, and then you can immediately run and summon it and get a demon summon token. Again, you cannot all get the token now, but you could all go run and do it very quickly because of the bag glitch. So hopefully the bag glitch gets deleted in another update. But huge improvements. I'm very happy. You're doing a great job, guys. Keep up the improvements. General bug fixes. Fixed an issue that prevented some people from joining Outpost Rush because they had a pending group invite. Was not aware of that one. Repair kits should no longer require coin to use. Let's go. So, for those that don't know, there are repair kits that exist in this game. Repair kits repair your armor and weapons. And it's early in the morning, and I already had a doctor's visit, and my voice is leaving me. Currently, before this update, there was literally no reason to use a repair kit because it cost a bunch of coin to use a repair kit. Why would I use a repair kit that costs money when I could just hit repair all with the repair tool parts, and it was going to cost like the same amount of money? There was no value in using a repair kit. Now, when you craft or get repair kits, you're going to save gold, which is huge in the end game. For those that aren't aware, repairing a full set of, 520 to 600 gear score items costs you like 500 gold. Like, it costs a lot of gold to repair all of your stuff. Repair kits are the way that you reduce your costs. Huge update. Thank you. Fixed an issue that sometimes caused players to use the wrong consumable when using consumables from the inventory screen. Thank you. That's actually happened to me a couple times. Fixed various issues with invasion status showing before the invasion was declared. Was not aware of that one. Updated missing English text for on login pop-up explaining housing tax compensation. Okay. I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, that's a small quality of life thing, I'm sure. Fixed an issue allowing magic weapons to animation cancel their primary attacks with weapon swap or targeting spells, causing rate of fire to be faster than intended. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Remember when I was literally talking about, wait, if you had a life staff and a fire staff, you could still weapon swap. Boom! No, you can't. They fixed it. Yeah! No more machine gunning, you suckers. Fixed an issue that caused Ice Gauntlet upgrade Pylon Dodge to only work immediately after you place the Ice Pylon. Pylon Dodge is the one where when you dodge, your pylon receives greatly increased attack speed for like two to 3 seconds, I believe. Apparently that was only working when you like immediately placed it. Now it should be working the entire time. This will greatly increase your pylon damage. Basically, it's going to increase your single target damage when using this just out in the open world or in expeditions or wherever you like to use it. Don't use it in PvP. The pylon dies way too fast. Fixed an issue that could cause a player to lose their house while offline during maintenance. In a future update, we will be reimbursing the players who encountered this issue. Exact details around the reimbursement will be in the corresponding update notes. So, this might count what happened to me. I bought my first house, and then immediately we had I shouldn't say immediately, 2 minutes later, we had the server go down, maintenance, everything had gotten like fast forwarded 7 days or whatnot. I come back in. I still owned the house, but I couldn't pay my taxes. So it was literally worthless. So I had to get rid of the house, then rebuy it, which means that I spent a grand total of 28,000 gold on my first house. Instead of the 8,000 gold that it was going to cost me because it was my first house, so I got half off, and it was in a territory that my company owned, so I got another 2,000 off. So basically, I had to pay $28,000 for one house. I would like my money back, please. Thank you very much. I would like 20,000 back because, frankly, I should have gotten my first house for the 8,000. Hopefully, I'm included in that. I would like to be. I sent a note or bug note in a long time ago and never heard anything back. Fixed an issue with enemy AI duplicating and stacking spawns during the quest Shivering Timbers. I believe Seth Fear has a video on it. I believe there's some others out there that have videos on it. But basically, there was a quest in Reekwater where you could infinite spawn ads, essentially, and just constantly, watermark farm that. Or because they were over level 60. I believe they were like 61 to 64s or something like that. And you could constantly just farm it over and over and over again. So that's what they are saying should be fixed. Hopefully that quest does not do that anymore. Fixed an issue that allowed players to initiate a server transfer if they were in the tutorial. Was not aware of that one. Fixed an issue causing the trading post to become unresponsive or delayed. Yeah, it was super laggy, I'm not gonna lie. Improved server performance when a large number of players congregate in settlements. Great, thank you. I would, yes, more. Now do that for wars. Fixed an issue that caused some territory influence to not be properly recognized when lots of players turned in PvP missions simultaneously. Thank you! For those that aren't aware, you typically want to, when you are flipping or defending a territory, run with a massive zerg of people in your company or your faction. You would have, 40 to 60 people doing turn-ins at the same time, and a lot of times it would feel like it was ignoring a lot of the turn-ins. This is hopefully getting fixed. Please. Thank you very much. Fixed an issue causing some players' titles to show as uninitialized. Honestly, guys, I'm not even joking. There's a bug flying around me. Can you guys make that a title? Like, make uninitialized an actual title now. Like, just for the fun of it, right? I'll totally rock that. Fixed an issue where players could become stuck while fishing with lag. Fixed the UI notification for landing in a hotspot while fishing. One of the best changes in this entire patch. Changed my mind. I'm not even kidding you. This is one of the best. Like, literally, this might be top 3. Fixing the hatchet, number 1. Fixing the life and fire staff stuff, number 2. Fixing the UI for fishing, number 3. And then fixing outpost rush bugs, number 4. There's my order right there. Changed my mind. For those that don't know, you would not receive any notification if you got your fishing landing spot to be in a hotspot or not in a hotspot. You just never knew. So you would know because you would constantly get a fish to bite like almost instantly, but there was no notification, right? So what people were trying to do, and what I would try to do, is I would place my marker in the fishing spot, and then I would stare at the marker, and then I would walk the distance that my fishing pole said was the max distance, like 20 meters or whatever, and then I would try to cast. But it's not an exact science, obviously. Finally, you get a notification. Thank goodness. Fixed the localization issue where bonus crafting percentages for tools were displaying as 0% for non-English languages. Was not aware of that, as I only use English. Fixed the time in Europe to properly account for the change from CEST to CET. Fixed an issue preventing gear score to increase past 589 from drop rewards. I'm not there myself. I'm a long ways away from that. But for those that have not made it to the very, very, very end game, which I would assume is most of you, there was a bug in place that were preventing people from receiving drops that were past 589 watermark. This was not preventing players from crafting weapons and items above 589. This was only preventing drops that were from the open world. Or expeditions or, outpost rush or whatever, like wherever you're receiving drops, people were not apparently getting drops all the time that were above 589 when they should have been, sort of thing. Speculative fixes, and then we're done. This is definitely a longer one. Longer video, longer patch notes, because there's just a lot going on. The fixes listed below are tentative fixes and mitigations. Our goal is to get these changes out and to see if issues persist so we can continue to work on them and address in future update if necessary. Implemented a change to help us dig into the timed out while waiting for server to describe world issue and added a fix to reduce occurrences of this issue while we continue to investigate. Was not aware of this issue, but hopefully this is a general fix. Good. I don't know. I don't have much to say on that. I wasn't super impacted by that. That, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, was patch 105, which is currently, as I am recording right now, being implemented and should be out by the time most of you are probably watching this. I am not streaming right now. Thanks, Dogmatic. You're going to be in the YouTube video, brother. Come follow me on Twitch, everybody. If you want to support the channel, you can always come follow me on Twitch, Pritch5, link in the description. You can you can drop a comment down below, you can hit the sub button. All of those are kind of free ways that you guys can help me out as a content creator and as a channel growing with New World. So, big highlights for me, they are starting to ban dupers and cheaters. They are fixing some of the duplication bugs. They are nerfing orb protection. They are reducing the amount of coin and Azoth needed to respec your weapons and attributes. That is huge. That's actually, I'm not gonna lie, that should probably be in the top 3. This is probably over. This is probably over the fishing. Like maybe this is tied with fishing. I'm gonna also include in this the fact that we're going to get the repair kits right here. The repair kits are no longer going to use coin, which means that we additionally will be saving money, basically repairing our gear. Huge value out of all 3 of those combined. Thank you so much. It's going to save a lot of coin and Azoth. We have also seen fixes to all the gravity well and ice storm problems, all of the machine gunning of life staff and fire staff. We have seen the fixes to the hatchet. We have now seen fixes to the resilient perk on armor, which was greatly reducing damage taken by anybody wearing these perks. We have now also seen Outpost Rush getting fixes for both leaving the map early, and on top of that, on top of all the weapon stuff that was plaguing it, you can no longer multiple turn in Azoth at the red diamond so that everybody gets a token, a demon token, which demons are insanely OP right now. All that to say, huge changes for Outpost Rush, going to make it 1,000,000 times better. I'm so excited and so happy for that. For me, those were the big ones. And of course, I don't know where the fishing thing is. I forget where they put the fishing thing, but we will now get a notification when we land there it is. When we land in a hotspot while fishing. Big changes coming today. All great changes. The question on everyone's mind, did you guys perform? Did you guys actually do what you said? And are these bugs going to cause more problems? Are these bug fixes, going to cause more problems? You guys have a history now of introducing patch notes that fix one thing and break 3 things. I am feeling hopeful that that streak hopefully ends on this patch. All right? And even if it doesn't end, can we get a 1-for-1 ratio? Can you fix one thing and only break one other thing? Can we reduce it to a 1-to-1 ratio, and then maybe we'll work on that, right? So I'm looking forward to all these changes. These are all amazing changes if implemented the way that they are described in the patch notes. As always, for those wondering, I'm going to have the patch notes in the link to the description down below. And that is going to end the video. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.